Welcome to the GMG Business Blueprint, where real people build real businesses, starting simple and scaling smart. I'm Audrey Bell-Kearney, and 3 times a week, I break down practical business blueprints you can actually use without hype, jargon, or tech overwhelm. If you're ready to turn ideas into income and build something real, you're in the right place. Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of my friends around the world. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County. It is 32 degrees. We do have some ice still on the ground, but not like Saturday. Saturday was rough. It's beautiful. Going to go up to a high of today of 45, so that's nice. So yesterday was freezing. I was outside for my baby's birthday party and it was cold. So listen, today I'm talking about building a personal brand. I know you have seen this everywhere because it is all over the place. What's crazy though is that this is something I've probably been doing for 20 something years because I've been in media for 27 years. This year is 27 years. Been an entrepreneur full time for 27 years, 29 years. And I have been building a personal brand for a very long time. I publish newspaper, magazines, podcasts, radio shows. I've been in media for a long time. So I've been building a personal brand for a very, very long time. But here's the thing. There wasn't a word really attached to it back then. There wasn't a you're building a personal brand. This year, that is all that I'm hearing. Personal brand, personal brand, personal brand. That's all I'm hearing. So I wanted to break down today what could that look like for you, right? For you as a person who's saying, I don't even know what a personal brand is. I don't even know how to build one. I don't even know what I'll talk about. I know none of these things. For me, I live in that space every day because you hear me on the podcast, you see me on videos, you see me interviewing people. That's all a part of the personal brand. Now, granted, I do a lot, so I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed by all of the stuff that I do. But remember what I just said. I've been doing this for 20 something years, 27 to be exact. So it comes a little bit easier to me because I've been doing it. And I know people saying, well, you've been doing it a long time. Yeah, but you could do it too. Now, and here's a good thing about that. I just created a video this morning, right? So the intro you heard is brand new. Like this is what I'll be doing Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll be doing blueprints. So you'll get a chance to hear a new blueprint every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 o'clock. And that intro is new because I've been pivoting Good Morning Gwinnett for the last probably 3 years, trying to find my sweet spot, and I think I've gotten it. I won't say for sure, but I think I got it. So what I'm going to be talking about is different ways to build your brand today, your personal brand. And for me, this is a great way. Podcasting for me is a great way. I am going to add video in this year, like more video. Like I've done video and I do a little bit here and there. I've been kind of dabbling, but this year I'm going 100% all in for the personal brand sake, right? Because my goal is to build Good Morning Gwinnett into a multi-million-dollar empire. And for me to do that, I have to show my face a little bit more. Now, there are different ways to show your faces these days than you just getting on camera. So if you're camera shy, if you're an introvert, you don't have to do that. What I was about to say before I got off track was that this morning I created these intros, right? I created the music because you know I love AI. I created the music, I created the words. But while I was over there creating, cloning my voice, I use 11 Labs. I was cloning my voice, so the voice you heard was a clone voice of me. This is the real me, y'all. This is this is the real me talking. Just in case it sounds just like me though, because it's a clone of my voice. But I'm actually the real person talking right now. But this morning I needed the intro and the outro, and I was kind of busy, not busy. I was kind of relaxing this weekend because of the snow, and I was kind of snowed in, wasn't feeling like doing much of nothing, so I didn't create the intros. I created them this morning. But while I was over in 11 Labs creating the audio for today's intro, it said, "Do you want to create a video for this audio?" And I was like, "Wait, I can create a video inside 11 Labs." So guess what I did? I uploaded an image of me, right? With my voice, and I hit create video. In about 2 minutes, I had a video of me saying the intro. Did you hear what I just said? So, thinking about building a personal brand, there are so many ways to do it today. You don't even have to show your face, but it could be your face. All right, so let's get into it. What is a personal brand? That's the first thing. People are like, Audrey, what is a personal brand? Your personal brand is your public image. Who people see when they see you. You want to be intentional about who they see, what they learn about you. I've been doing podcasting for so long. A lot of people know me from podcasting. Then here in Gwinnett County, a lot of people know me because I'm the president of the Gwinnett Women's Chamber, but they also know me from Good Morning Gwinnett because that's how most of them met me. So my goal is to build my personal brand around Good Morning Gwinnett out bigger and bigger and bigger. So I have this whole plan laid out because the plan is to use a personal brand to build a multi-million dollar business. That's the plan. So I'll be living out loud on these shows as I talk to you about this. So your personal brand is the public image you intentionally build around your name. So for me, right now, I'm very intentional about Good Morning Gwinnett and Audrey. Why? Because that's a part of I feel like that's going to be in my life forever. That's what I feel. I mean, if somebody came along and said, "Hey, we're gonna give you $10 million," I'd probably drop it. But I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen. I feel like Good Morning Gwinnett is gonna be in my family for 100 years, like Hearst Media and and the Washington Post and the New York Times and all of those. I feel like Good Morning Gwinnett is gonna be that thing for me. So right now, I'm intentionally building a brand around the Good Morning Gwinnett, my name around Good Morning Gwinnett, my personality, my expertise. I'm here talking to you guys. Why? Because I've been doing this a very long time. And I know that right now, everything is about personal brand. Now, let me tell you why that's important. Why is a personal brand important? A personal brand is so important because there is so much content being created because of AI tools and automation. So much. The only way for you to really stand out today, like before, you could have a niche. Like your niche could be, I'm an expert and I'm a coach, and I coach people on how to tie their shoes with one hand, right? Oh, you would very stand out. You stand out like you probably still will stand out as like you probably really would stand out if that was something you could do, but you would stand out back in the day because that was something very unique to you. But then guess what? People found out that you taught people how to tie their shoes with one hand. They started to do the same thing, so they started to copy you. So now you got a bunch of copycats doing the exact same thing you're doing, but they put a little bit of a spin on it, so it's a little bit different. So now they're taking part of your audience, right? Now we have to look at, well, how can we compete with so many people doing the same things? Well, you have to show your face. You have to show up. The good thing about showing up is that you don't have to show up if you're an introvert yourself, but you have to put your face out there. Now, that's going to set you apart. You become your own niche, right? Back in the day, it was like pick a niche, pick a subject, pick a focus, all these things. All the things, that's what they used to tell you because that used to work. That's not going to work right now. You have so much competition because just like you're sitting here listening to me and you say, well, I know I need a podcast. Everybody should have a media component to their business. Why? Because it helps you build your personal brand. I was listening to my voice, right? I talk really fast. So when I clone my voice, guess what the clone does? Talk really fast. It said my name, like I said when I'm talking to my friend. I say, my name is Audrey, but because I say Audrey Bell-Kearney, it said Audrey Bell-Kearney. Just like that. I was like, God darn it. I talk really fast, but it sounds just like me. So people who listen to me talk like, oh my God, that sounds just like Audrey. They wouldn't know it's a clone. But guess what? My voice is being heard around the world when I get on here and I talk about these blueprints, when I talk about business, when I talk about the local community around the world. Like I was looking at my stats last week. I don't think I've ever showed up, or maybe I did and I didn't pay attention in Singapore. I showed up in Singapore. I was like, what the? Because I can see it on the stats. Your voice carries around the world. You may not think people want to listen to what you're talking about, but they do. They want to hear what you have to say. So the first thing is about building your personal brand is you want to be intentional about the public image that you create. Now, that being said, part of your personal brand could be anything. There's a woman here in Gwinnett County. Whenever you see her, she has on a yellow dress, she has on pink sneakers, and she has a pink bow, a pink flower in her hair. That's a part of her brand. Wherever every time I've seen her, she has on the same outfit. It's kind of like the Savannah Bananas, right? I love them. I just love everything they do. If you go back and look at their story, the story is amazing. But they have a $1 billion brand based on a name called Savannah Bananas, and they wear yellow. And they dance. So dancing is a part of their brand. Go look them up. Look up Savannah Bananas. That's the name of them. That is a $1 billion brand built right here in Savannah, Georgia. That is a lot of fun for a lot of people. That is what I'm trying to build with. That is what I'm going to build for Good Morning Gwinnett. That type of thing. So I am putting pieces to the brand. Now, my personal brand is wrapped into Good Morning Gwinnett. Me talking to you about the blueprints, me talking about business, me showing up at events, me doing all the things. That's a part of the personal brand. Now, in 2026, a strong person brands mean this. You have to be recognizable in your own niche. I'm in the podcast media niche. That's where I am. I'm going to make sure that I'm recognizing it. I've written a book about podcasting. I did that, man, I think I did that 3 years ago. I've been podcasting since 2009, but I wrote the book. This is my second book. I wrote that book about 2, 3 years ago. Someone was at an event last year and they said, "Oh my God." Now I don't remember. And I have a pretty good memory when I'm not glitching. The lady came and said, "Oh my God, Audrey, I bought your book. Oh my God, that book was so good." She bought the podcasting book. Okay, so that's a part of my brand, right? I speak at Podfest. I've spoken at Podfest probably 4 times. I spoke at She Podcast. I spoke at Podeston. I've been speaking about podcasts all over the place for years. That's a part of my brand. I have something that's gonna blow my brand out the water this year. I'm talking about out the water. And the media and local media. Good Morning Gwinnett is a hyper local media company, right? It's hyper local. Why? Because I talk about Gwinnett. When you go to the website, you see Gwinnett County News, but then you see global business, you see global tech, you see workforce, you see economic development globally, right? Because I wanted my brand to be associated with local news and local empowerment. So that's why I did it. So it's local news, but global empowerment for my local community. That's what I want to be known for. I want to be known for local empowerment via local media that's global, right? So I'm building something right now, and I'll be finished probably in a week or two. That's gonna catapult my personal brand along with my media brand to the top because it's so different. It's different, but it's not, right? But it's going to make me very recognizable. So you have to think of that thing that's going to make you stand out in a crowded, and I do mean crowded space. What is that for yourself? Now, here's the thing: if you have no idea, go on over to Chat GPT or Gemini and say, "Look, these are all the things I am. These are all the things I know how to do. I want to stand out in my space as a personal brand based on what I do, what I love, what I know. Loving something is important. I do this because I love it. I've been doing it for the last almost 9 years because I love it. You have to figure out the thing that you're going to do because you love it. Put that into ChatGPT along with all the stuff you know how to do. Say, look, and all the stuff you hate. When I put in stuff like I was like, look, chat, I dread selling. Like it is I dread selling. I'm not a cold call person. But you don't have a business if you can't sell. But I said to it, create me a plan where I don't have to ask anybody for money because I'm bad at it. And it told me exactly what to do. So that's what you want to do. Create a recognizable niche for yourself and make yourself be the niche. All right. You want to attract the ideal clients, opportunities. What I'm creating right now, I believe is going to create the right client for what I'm doing. I am a hyper local media company building a hyperlocal media brand that's global. I know that sounds crazy, right? I'm building a hyperlocal media brand that is global. The reason that it is global is because I'm sitting in Gwinnett County, but people around the world are listening to the sound of my voice right now. Those partnerships can come from anywhere. If you want to get in front of 1 million people in Gwinnett County, which is a suburb of Atlanta, it is one of the 11 counties in the Arc region, then you want to be on my show. You want to put a business listing on the website. Why? Because there are a million people in Gwinnett County alone. It's the second largest county in the state of Georgia, right after Fulton County, which is right next door. Right? So I am a hyper local media company with a mass reach here in the United States. Just between um, Fulton County, Gwinnett County, Cobb County. These are the top four in the metro area. Gwinnett County, Fulton County, Cobb County, and DeKalb County. 3 million people. Three. That's just four counties. The Georgia has 159 counties. The metro area has about 24 that's considered metro. There are 11 that's considered in the arc, which means right like close by. Henry County, Clayton County, Cherokee County, Douglas County, Cobb County, Gwinnett County, Fulton County, Forsyth County. Forsyth has about 300,000 people, I think, or something like that. That's a lot of people. So right in just 11 counties right here, 11 million people, just right here. So if you know you want that type of reach, and I'm telling you, hey, I'm about to blow stuff out the water. You want to advertise on the Good Morning Gwinnett site. So that's a partnership because I'll be driving that much traffic to the site. So if you're listed under the business directory, people can see you, right? So you want to attract the idea partners for your brand. All right, standing out from AI generated content with your voice and story. Now, let me say this. Here's the thing, you can stand out from that because you can go in there and personally do exactly what I'm doing now. This is actually me talking. However, if you are afraid to be on the microphone, you don't I don't when I listened to my voice this morning on that recording, I cringed. I was like, "Oh God." But I know I talk fast. I know I stutter sometimes when I talk. I know that because my brain is moving faster than my mouth. But it's like, hey, whatever, it's gonna be done. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it ugly. If you want to stand out against other people's AI generated content, you got to put out your own content. You got to put out stuff about your brand. You got to put your AI clone, your AI twin out there so she can talk for you. Let me tell you something. Now I'm in AI every day, and I was looking at this girl. Her name is Dr. Julia McCoy, right? That's the name of her AI twin. Dr. Julie McCoy. And I'm gonna take my AI twin a little bit more serious. So Dr. Julie McCoy, which is funny. So I'm looking at her, right? This is not I'm in AI. I do something in AI every single day. So I'm looking at her audio and she's big in AI and she talks about automation and all those things. And I was like, Dad, now this is before she was doing this probably a year before everybody else started doing it. But I didn't know because I didn't know clones could be that good. Like I had tried my clone, it was ugly. I was like, my mouth is moving crazy. It sounds crazy. I don't like that. Okay, so I'm looking at her and I'm like, Dad, she looked like she been smoking weed, right? Because her eye kept twinkling, doing some kind of little funny thing, and I'm like, what? What's wrong with her? Like, and it's like she wanted to fall asleep. She looked high, right? I later learned because somebody must have said something to her because she didn't put this in up front to say, "Hey, I'm Dr. Julia McCoy, um, Julia's AI twin." She didn't say that in the beginning. It was just her talking. I was like she high. So now she tell people that I'm her twin, and I'm doing this episode for her. What's nice about that is that is her twin, and she is doing it for her, which is really cool. It's so cool. So you got to think like I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've been trying to figure out how to make Good Morning Gwinnett better. I'm about to use my voice and add more segments to this show that I won't even be doing. That's what I'm saying. So you got to know how to use AI to help you build your personal brand, right? Now, here's the thing. I create a whole step-by-step guide. It's over at Good Morning Gwinnett. You can go check it out because it's a lot. And I think I'm gonna do a part two to this on Wednesday. Because this is really important this year. I think I'm gonna do part two to building your personal brand in 2026 because you need to understand like what that actually means, right? You need to understand how to create something for yourself so you're not afraid. You want to be able to compete. It's really crowded. It's not even getting really crowded. It is crowded right now. And the fact that people can put out and speak an avatar that looks just like them, talks like them, looks like you got a lot of competition. So the only thing that's going to set you apart from your competition is you. So you got to get out there. You got to speak your own unique position about whatever it is, your thing. Let me tell you. I don't know if I think I told the story. I lost my memory for a short while back in October last year, and I started to finally talk about it out loud. That's a part of my unique story. It's a scary part of my story, but it is. When I lost my mom to COVID back in 2021, that's a part of my unique story. So that's my story. Nobody else has that story. Nobody else was at a football game in Southwest DeKalb and their brother was a coach and they were about to lose a game and they actually won. That's my story. And then after the game, walking out to get in my car, I lose my memory. Just for no reason. That's my unique story, right? Nobody else's story was we just spent Christmas together, my whole family, and for some strange reason, I asked my mom to take a picture. She wasn't feeling well, and she got up and she took the picture, and that is the last time we took a picture together. And on January 5th, 2021, she passed away from COVID. We took the picture on December 25th, Christmas. My brother's best friend was here. My best friend here. We're all in that picture. And I said to my mom, "Do you feel like taking a picture?" And she said, "Yeah." And she came out and she took the picture. And as I asked her that question, I said to myself, my mind said, "Why did you ask her that?" Right? And I don't know why to this day I remember that just like it was nothing. And my mom took that picture, and we were all in that picture. That is the last picture she took with all of us. I need to get the picture blown up and put it in my house, but I swear, God, I can't. Just looking at my mom breaks my heart. My daughter has big pictures of my mother everywhere, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to digress, but this is always a moving subject for me, losing my mom to COVID. But anyway, that's my unique story. So when I tell that story, now I'm putting the two together because they're just both of them are just crazy for me. I'm putting together. That's going to help people identify who I am when I tell those stories. The day my mom passed away, which was 5:15 a.m. on January 5th, I still did Good Morning Gwinnett. If you go back and look for that episode, January 5th, 2021, it's there. You go back and listen, looking for it. I was a mess on that episode, but my mom listened to the show every morning, so I did it anyway. I got up, I pulled myself together just long enough to do that show, and then for 6 months I stayed in the bed. After I did the show, though, I did the show every day, and then I was just so sad because I had lost my best friend. That all I could do is do the show and get back in the bed. That's my unique story. So you got to find out what your unique story is, and that's going to be the foundation of your brand. You got to find out who you want to help, right? Who do you want to help? You also have to figure out who you want to be. Oh my God, I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday. Who do you want to be while you're building your personal brand? I gotta go, but that's part two. Who do you want to be while building your personal brand? Make sure to tune in on Wednesday at 10 a.m. because that's what that is so important. When I tell you so important, so important. Listen, I gotta go. My time is up, but go to goodmorninggwinnett.com for the whole blueprint. But on Wednesday, I'm gonna be talking about who do you want to be while you're building your personal brand. That is so important. All right. I gotta go, but I want to thank you all for listening. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent the last 20 something minutes with me. I'll be back again Wednesday, same place, same time. So be sure to check me out. Who do you want to be? Go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to get the whole blueprint. But on Wednesday, I want to know who you want to be while you're building this brand. All right, I'll be back. Until next time, my friends, until next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody. That's today's business blueprint. If you want deeper guidance, marketing, AI, and scaling strategies, you'll find them inside the Blueprint Room, our coaching community for people building real businesses. Go to theblueprintroom.space to become a free member. You can explore today's blueprint and join us at theblueprintpress.today. Until next time, start simple, scale smart.